on this. Say hi. Bow.
I pour the water into the ocean, circulating motion. No direction we should go. We can take it super slow. Never thought I'd be so close to the real thing. Is she just a wish? Why she calling me bluish? Pixel voices through the phone. Is she just a glitch? Strange, beautiful language. Feel her pulsing through my bones. The water is hard like metal. I think I gotta deal with the devil. The water is hard like metal. I think I gotta deal with the devil.
And good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you're in. I'm your host, Skeptically Speaking,
And I'm Sweet Pea from across the pond.
and you found us once again. If you want more independent media in your life, please consider supporting the show. You can support us via Cash App, Venmo, or become a patron subscriber. We would love to have you. We'd love to be a part of your independent media diet. Links will be down in the description. You found us on YouTube, but you can also find us on TikTok, Blue Sky, Discord, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, Substack, and recently Upscroll. Kind of an up yours to TikTok. Fuck them. Anyway. How are you doing, Sweet Pea?
I'm doing okay. Slightly miffed at 2 new joins for our Discord. Just a word of warning to people wanting to join our Discord. You're more than welcome to join. But if you sort of spam porn, I am going to ban you. Just warning you. Otherwise, everyone is welcome.
Yeah, and Bitcoin spammers. I can't stand them.
Oh, we had a Bitcoin spammer and then we had a porn spammer, which spammed 34 channels, which made me a very happy bunny. How are you doing, Skeptically?
Oh, I'm just enjoying my ginger ale with my new Amsterdam vodka.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually glad that you missed the porn spam, though, because
I miss everything.
There's just some things you can't unsee, and there's not enough eye bleach for.
Well, happy Black History Month, and we've got racist idiots running our high schools and universities. We're going to be talking about Indiana and Missouri. We got 2 big stories coming out of there. It's just I really don't understand why it is so hard to deal with bullies and to deal with racist cunts who think they can get away with shit because they're living in the 1960s. By the way, and that leads me into another story we're going to be doing later on, maybe next week. You got these morons running these schools. When the student stood up to a bully that was bullying an autistic student, what did the teachers do? They suspended all the students that stood up against him. They didn't lay a hand on him. They didn't threaten him. They used their words, and that was considered a threatening situation. I swear, we got morons running our schools. We really do.
I'm sorry, what? So let me get this right. They suspended the child or children that were getting bullied rather than suspending the actual bullies. What in the 500 fuck?
That's exactly what they did. And you know, this is the mixed messaging we're sending our kids. We're telling them we have zero tolerance for bullying, but if you ever stand up to one, can't have that. You know, and that's why a lot of these kids just say, you know what, you can't win. You can't win either way. Fuck it. I'll just, you know, not concern myself with anything. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We got... Oh, did you hear Joe Rogan? Well, I think we mentioned Joe Rogan got mentioned in the Epstein files. What's his name? Elon Musk is in the Epstein files for the stupidest of reasons. This guy tried to get into the inner sanctum and he got denied. You know, it's like your money isn't good enough for us. Okay, we don't want you. We've just had a multiple victims found dead in Florida school shooting. We're going to read that story right now. Neighbors and onlookers speak about deadly Sarasota shooting. Multiple victims found dead after shooting in Sarasota, Florida on Tuesday, February 10th. Damn. A day and a half ago. According to the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, at 12:29 p.m., deputies reportedly responded to a home. All right, give me a second. Let me pause this video. I might play the video. The shooting victims were found. I'm sorry, what? While the sheriff's office could not confirm the number of victims, officials say all persons are accounted for, including the suspect. There were no survivors. What did man, it sounds like a firing squad. I don't know who is the victim. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer said, I don't know who is the suspect right now. We have multiple victims and will come out as part of this investigation, blah, blah, blah. Sheriff's officials said there's no threat to the public at this time. Multiple victims found after a shooting at Fallcrest Circle in the Amberlea neighborhood, according to the sheriff's office. The agency could not confirm the number of victims, but the shooting happened. Okay, whatever. Who was shot? The sheriff's office has not identified any victims or suspects, but did confirm there were no survivors. Two previous incidents where shooting happened. There were two prior incidences of deputies responding to the home. So this is a developing story. Okay. So screenshots of a whole lot of nothing. 19 people dead. What the hell? Yeah, that is wild. Let's play this video. Let's see if we can get some neighbors and onlookers speak about deadly Sarasota shooting. Okay, turn you up.
So I was walking down the street around like 2:30, 1:30, and it happened at like 11:30. And I saw like cops out there, news reporters, caution tape. There was a lady out there crying. I didn't hear any of it. The neighbor across the street, I talked to them a little bit, and they said that there was about 20 shots went off around like 11:15, and then about 10-15 minutes later, the last shot went off, and that was him killing himself. And then, I walked around a little bit after that, and I didn't really see much more.
But like you said, you never thought you'd ever see that in your neighborhood.
Nah, never thought that would happen.
That I just kind of out of control. I didn't know. So I was on a mission, I guess.
Maybe what behind
It's like people come and go from here, and it's no big deal.
Seems like a very nice place, skating, you know, so.
Do you love playing video games? Earn points for every...
Higher end, I wouldn't think something like that would happen in a neighborhood like that.
You were told to spend the day talking about things that are going on. Let's come to talk over at the shop this morning.
We can talk about it, but, yeah, work, so it wasn't, it wasn't like topic conversation really, but, we can talk about it a little bit.
Audio.
It's bizarre, it's not like this happens so close to the market, to us,
You said you work nearby?
Yeah,
What was it that caught your attention yesterday?
and he couldn't get through because it had the roadblock. So I knew something big was
What do you think when you try to wrap your head around, seven lives gone like that?
It's horrible. It's very horrible. Feel bad for the other parts of the family.
Yeah, that was the worst audio. Don't ever use that stupid lavalier mic ever again, please. They've got this cheap TikTok lavalier mic hooked up to his collar. You can't hear a word he's saying. The captions don't even match what he's saying.
I'll translate. Blah, 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 blah. That's what it sounded like.
So, developing a story.
You would have thought with something so serious that they would have made sure their mics were properly working and the audio was clear. For people to actually listen. Especially reporting something so serious. They should have made sure their mics were clear.
Yeah. That's okay. We don't need a map. Yeah, so that happened. So another shooting. I guess there was a shooting in Canada as well. There was a school shooting in Canada. It was like the first in decades. Yeah. Oops. So, yeah, buddy. But of course, the guns make us safe, don't they? Just have more guns, It'll all work out. As Charlie Kirk said, well, dead kids, that's the price we have to pay. We'll maybe talk about that on tomorrow or Friday's show. In other news, Britney Spears has sold her entire music catalog for $200 million.
Did she sell it to Justin Timberlake? Or was one of them crying a river?
I guess she's just done. I think she's done with the music. She was just like, you know what? So who did she sell it to? I have a feeling she might eventually get back control of her music, but I wonder why she sold it. I mean, it was revealed that Britney Spears sold her entire music catalog to Primary Wave, a leading independent music publisher. Okay. Well, an official dollar amount hasn't been confirmed. It's reported to have been near the 200 million mark. So maybe money isn't the end all be all. Maybe that's why.
She sold it to an independent music publisher for around 200 million.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, people are saying that her catalog is all worth a lot more than that, but again, because whoever gets control of that music is going to be raking in a lot of money. They're going to get that money back, probably in the first 5 years. Her last album released a decade ago. That's got to be tough. But then again, she doesn't have very many happy memories within the music industry. We have to remember her conservatorship, which her dad was in charge of. He forced her to perform, even when she didn't want to, even when she was mentally unwell. So I can see why she just wants out. She just wants to have a somewhat normal family life, which she's never had.
I can't blame her, to be honest. She never should have been treated the way she was treated.
Yeah, 13 years of her life. 14. Okay. But yeah, it's just very sad. But anyway, well, I hope she finds happiness. She was treated horribly, not just by that, but by people in general, who, myself included, making jokes at her expense, making her making her name into a catchphrase. Stuff like "Don't go all Britney on me." Bullshit like that. And it's like, we had no fucking right, nor did we have any fucking clue of what was going on. What's that?
You've done that catchphrase about Britney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's that. I have a feeling she's not gonna
That's okay.
want to see a concert. Mm-hmm.
I think people said and done a lot of things without actually knowing what was happening to her at the time, Like, yeah, because I'm totally innocent. I used to make fun of Justin Timberlake.
Well,
totally on.
He deserved it, man. Justin Timberlake, some of the stuff he did and said about Britney Spears, I mean, it was just, the guy's a punk.
Yep.
He is a punk. And fuck that guy. But yeah, I mean, she was vilified, especially in fundamentalist Christian nationalist circles. She was evil incarnate, the worst Jezebel, blah, 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 blah.
They'd say, yeah, they'd say the same about Christina Aguilera as well. The Christians.
Yeah, we didn't hear much about her. But Britney Spears, oh yeah, everybody knew Britney Spears, Speaking of punks, Border Patrol chief praises federal agent who shot U.S. citizen in Chicago. Greg Bovino, with other federal agents, this is him in his Nazi trench coat, praises. This guy looks like an old haggard lesbian. I mean, he does. He just has that. I mean, he has that face. He tries to act and look all tough, and it's like, nah, you ain't tough. You ain't nothing. New released evidence has shown that Gregory Bovino, a Border Patrol chief who was the face of the Trump administration's mass deportation efforts until last month, praised a federal agent who shot a Chicago woman during an immigration crackdown last year. Miramar Martinez, a U.S. citizen, was shot 5 times by a Border Patrol agent in October while in her vehicle. She was charged with a felony after officials at the Department of Homeland Security accused her of trying to ram agents with her vehicle, but the case was abruptly dismissed after video evidence emerged showing that an agent had steered his vehicle into Martinez's car. You cannot trust a word these fuck knuckles say. You cannot trust a thing they say because they will lie their ass off even when there's video evidence showing that they're full of shit. Why aren't they being charged for lying on a police report and lying in a courthouse? What is this? This is deliberate lying. We need to get laws on the books. Why are there no laws on the books saying you cannot lie on a police report? Lawyers for Martinez have pushed to make evidence in the dismissal criminal case public, saying they were especially motivated to do so after a federal agent fatally shot Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis under similar circumstances. See again. New evidence, which includes emails, text messages, and videos, was released this week after a U.S. District Judge, Georgia Alexakis, lifted a protective order. Federal prosecutors had argued the documents could further sully the reputation of the agents who shot Martinez. They have no reputation to sully. They are fucking Nazis. They're fucking garbage human scum. Fuck these guys. They deserve no respect. They deserve no peace. They deserve no rest. The Border Patrol agents who shot Martinez, Charles Exum, was not wearing his body camera during the incident, according to Martinez's lawyer, but the body camera video recorded by another agent and released on Tuesday showed the moments that led up to the shooting from inside Exum's vehicle. After Exum gets out of the car, the sound of 5 shots being fired can be heard on the video. Text messages, meanwhile, show Bovino sending encouragement to Exum after the shooting. In light of your excellent service in Chicago, you have much yet left to do. It's time to get aggressive and get the fuck out, one agent could be heard saying. Mm-hmm. They think that they're playing Call of Duty. These fuck knuckles think they're in a video game. And they think they're going to get points by how many civilians they shoot. The government unsuccessfully fought the release of the documents on the shooting, including an email from Bovino, who led enforcement operations nationwide until video evidence showed he had lied when he said Peretti approached law enforcement with a weapon, violently resisted, and wanted to massacre law enforcement. When we see clearly video of agents approaching him, abusing him, pushing him. In one agent group text, others congratulated Exum as Bovino had, calling him a legend and offering to buy him beers. In another text exchange made public when Martinez testified in Congress last week, another agent sent Exum a Guardian report on the shooting in which her lawyer said she had 7 holes in her body from 5 shots. Exum says, read it, 5 shots, 7 holes. Exum then appeared to brag to colleagues about his shooting skills. I fired 5 rounds and she had 7 holes. Put that in your book, boys. Okay. We will. We're going to jot that down. Because I tell you what. Yeah. Bunch of thugs. Well, if I kind of feel better about them not getting paid what they were promised. I feel better about that. Yeah, I hope they die broke and poor. I hope they never, ever get a job anywhere. Gene Simmons, a MAGA. Gene Simmons, the front runner for KISS, the rock group KISS. He blasts the Hall of Fame for honoring hip hop. Quote, it doesn't speak my language. Who gives a fuck? Longtime rock and roll. Yeah. Hip hop doesn't speak my language. Fuck you, buddy. It's not my music, he told Legends Leader Podcast. I don't come from the ghetto. Oh, excuse me?
Excuse me? Sorry.
He said that shit. He said it. It doesn't speak my language. And as I said in print many times, hip-hop does not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, nor does opera or symphony or orchestras. How come the New York Philharmonic doesn't get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Because it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then he blathers on. Ice Cube and I had a back and forth. He's a bright guy and I respect what he's done. He shot back that it's the spirit of rock and roll. So Ice Cube and Grandmaster Flash and all these guys are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just want to know when Led Zeppelin's going to be in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Music has labels because it describes an approach. By and large, rap, hip hop is a spoken word art. Then you put beats in the back of it and somebody comes up with a musical phrase and it's verbal. There are some melodies, but by and large, it's a verbal thing. Oh, yes. Why don't you just say... Why doesn't he just say hip-hop isn't music? I'm just waiting for that. It's not real music.
Yeah, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get that it's a feeling, it's a vibe. He doesn't get that.
I love that ghetto reference, right?
That pissed me the fuck off.
Right.
That is incredibly racist. That is disgusting. You don't need to be living, like, you can listen to hip hop, rap, regardless of where you live.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Where does rock and roll come from? It comes from the blues, rhythm and blues. So, are we going to split frog hairs now? Rap is a piece of rock and roll, but there's also a piece of soul, a piece of R&B, a piece of blues, all of that music that comes before it. I think rap captures the spirit of rock and roll, just like rappers and guys who do rock and roll capture the same spirit, but they might be in different directions with it. It's the same spirit, same thing. And to a point, yeah. it's funny how different genres of music, you can take a song and cross mix it with other genres. You know, I've seen rap get turned into bluegrass. Of all, you know, of all things. How in the world is that possible? You know, he believes that rock and roll is dead. Oh God, here we go again. Rock and roll is dead. He said this in 2017. I'm sorry, people are still making rock and roll. There will not be another Beatles. You know?
Well, no, obviously. And I'm sorry that he's too washed up to actually think of something original to release. But he needs to move on with the times and stop living in the past, and he needs to stop ragging on stuff that he does not understand. I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of what genre the music is, it's music, and just let people enjoy it. You know, don't be sort of stereotyping music. We've got enough fucking racism and shit going on without him trying to stereotype music in a little box. No, just leave it alone. If they want to put rap in the rock and roll section, leave them. It's not hurting no fucker.
Yeah. And the writers of the article said, well, we tried to tell him like groups like Pearl Jam, Radiohead found tremendous success after 1988, you know? And then he says, well, I think you're delusional. I've been with Dave Grohl, and when he was walking down the street, nobody knew, and he's a big star. No, that's not what a star. Prince was a star. You could see him coming from a mile ahead. There are success. I mean, come the fuck on. Now he's critiquing, now he's trying to justify, well, Dave Grohl can walk down the street and no one seems to notice him. I guess that means stardom is
people
dead too.
Do notice him.
Fucking hell.
People do notice him, but people usually have the common courtesy to leave, you know, people like David Grohl and others, you know, alone to do what they're doing, because you see him on the street, you don't go up and harass them. You may say hello. You know, maybe if you're a little cheeky, ask if they got quick time for a little autograph or a picture. But generally, you leave them alone. You don't sort of bother them, you know?
Yeah, this guy's an insufferable ass. Yeah, it's like, God, no wonder he's MAGA. It makes all kinds of sense now. Anyway. But yeah, this guy, he's a waste of space. Yeah, we're going to read this story. This happened in Maine. They suspend 19 students for standing up to a bully. We'll get into that a little bit later. And we'll be talking about Elon Musk in the files. But let's go to the Atlanta Black Star. This is the crux of the show. Missouri student says high school let racism fester for 4 years. And his mom complained, trying to help him out. A black student and his mother are suing a Missouri school district, claiming that the school officials failed to act on repeated reports of racial discrimination, harassment by white students, and a football coach. They also say the school failed to accommodate the student's disability and that the district retaliated against the mother for complaining by banning her from school grounds. I'll just read it and you tell me. According to the lawsuit filed by Greene County Circuit Court on January 12th and obtained by Atlanta Black Star, Tyreek Williams, now 19, endured racial slurs and bullying from students, insults, racial discrimination from coaches throughout 4 years at predominantly white high school near Springfield. White students allegedly called Williams and other black students the N-word and slaves on multiple occasions and habitually referred to him as Tyrone instead of his real name to insult him. Some white teammates also allegedly called him ugly, told him you're only good because you're black. And how are you black and not starting? Meaning that a football position sounds like. One white student regularly harassed Williams about the size of his nose and created memes with pictures of Quasimodo, the hunchback character from Hotel Transylvania. The complaint claims saying his nose was large like the characters and displayed the memes in front of other students. I mean, we're not talking about a one-off. We're talking 4 years of this shit. 4 years. Meanwhile, a coach goaded Williams by calling him chicken legs and told him he needed to gain more weight, treated him more harshly than the white football players, and gave him significantly less playing time than similarly sized white players. Demoralized, Williams told his mother, who is white, about the racial harassment and desperate treatment. She contacted school officials through phone calls, emails, in-person meetings over the years to complain and demand that they take corrective action. Hornbuckle also reported concerns over the school's failure to provide academic and mental health support to her son in accordance with his 504 plan, which outlines how a student with disabilities should be accommodated. The lawsuit says school officials were either dismissive of her complaints or promised to look into them, but never did. The bullying and harassment of Williams continued unabated from 2021 to 2025.
That is so fucking disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By 2023, Hornbuckle was telling school officials that her son's mental and emotional health had deteriorated from constant harassment at both school and football practice. She insisted the school environment was not safe for her son, who no longer wanted to go to school. Yeah. Who would want to? A no-contact order was implemented by the school in October 2023 between Williams and one harassing student who repeatedly violated that order by texting Williams.
Right, this school is obviously I want to say flawed, but purposely leaving bullying going on.
Yeah, whatever happened? Where's the zero tolerance policy? You know?
No, exactly. Now,
and then when he retaliates, oh, he's the aggressive one. Oh God.
No, yeah.
Watch.
But I do have a question. Now, the mother obviously knows that this school is very incompetent, that the school is not taking care of her child the way that they should be protecting and taking care of her child. Why didn't the mother take the child out of this school, enroll the child in a
Why should she have to
school?
do that? Number one. Number two,
but it's
we're assuming there were other options. That may have been the only school that he could have gone to within his district.
No,
there may not have been options.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just playing devil advocate.
Oh no, I get it.
Everything is because just want to cover all corners of everything.
No, it gets worse because
I do agree with him. She shouldn't have to move her child from the school. The school should be safe. For
make the
children,
bullies leave. Kick them out.
Exactly. No, exactly. They should be suspending the bullies permanently. And it should be put on their records.
I'll tell you what,
so
if she documented, oh yeah, if she documented what was going on, like I hope she did, this school is in trouble. The school also refused to move that student from the class that he had with Williams and suggested that Williams should be the one to move. He's the one who's getting harassed.
No, you remove the bully. You remove the bully. You don't reward the bully for being a bully. What
Yeah.
in the living fuck?
So in the fall of 2024, Hornbuckle stepped up her efforts to get the school to address her son's ongoing harassment and bullying. She repeatedly called and emailed the school in the district, at one point requesting her son's entire school record, including call logs and emails regarding her many complaints. The lawsuit says the school never provided those records and that some school officials stopped taking her calls. They're fucked. A third-party investigator was hired by the district. The investigator never spoke to Williams directly, the complaint says, and didn't review the documentation. What the fuck? The investigation was closed, concluding that no discrimination had occurred. And you wonder why black people have decided to step back and say, you know what? We can no longer trust you. We're just gonna focus on us. And this is why black people start their own thing. They start their own businesses, that, you know, environments, entire environments, because it's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You don't want us in your spaces. You don't want us around. You're happy to take our money, but then you despise us. So maybe we'll just do our own thing. You know?
I need what you're drinking, and I honestly think
I'm
a full
out. I just drank the last of it.
Well, do you want to share half? I'll share half.
Yeah.
I don't mind sharing, if you don't mind sharing. But first of all, that everyone in that school needs to be held accountable and fired. A full investigation needs to be done, because
they've got surveillance.
That child go through is unacceptable.
Surveillance video showed the same student approach Williams and hit him while he had his face down with headphones on. After Williams told the student to go away, the student began to do so, then sucker punched him right in the face. And then if this guy defends himself, I wonder how many onlookers would have just dogpiled on him.
I bet they all would have, and I bet he would have got in trouble for defending himself, because this school is absolutely outrageously disgusting. There needs to be a full investigation, and that bully needs to be permanently suspended. He needs,
and not only that, the school went after the mom. Get this: the district illegally retaliated against Hornbuckle for complaining about her son's alleged mistreatment by banning her from school property, prohibiting her from speaking to school employees about her son.
That is just fucking disgusting.
Burn this school to the ground. Start over.
Exactly. And I'm sorry.
There's no you can't reform this. You can't reform this.
No, you can't. So for everyone that's probably screaming this after everything, why didn't she move the child after all this? Because if she cannot contact the school or anything, it is absolutely pointless the child being there where they are unsafe. They are clearly unsafe in that school. And I know she shouldn't have to move the child.
Yeah. It's so the Republic School District was the subject of a similar lawsuit alleging racial discrimination by a minor student. According to court filings, that lawsuit was confidentially settled in 2025, with the district denying any liability. You know, it's like they didn't learn the first time. I think she should go after these teachers and the principal and the staff and go after them personally. because this is bullshit. Because this sounds like a situation where the police brutalize a citizen, the citizen sues, and the taxpayer picks up the tab, and the police are just go on their merry way. They don't give a fuck. That's what it sounds like. Burn this school down. Burn it down. Start over. The fish rots from the head. Here's another article. By the way, links to these articles will be in the description. I know where you live. Black teen gets racist threatening letter filled with slurs and listing his home address. Then he gets suspended. Again. This bullshit. School administrators at an Indiana high school suspended a black high school student who said that he suffered years of racist incidents that came to a head when he was sent a threatening letter that listed his home address and calling him a chicken-eating Kool-Aid drinking boy. These racists are unimaginative in their insults. Julian Blevins is a sophomore.
They're disgusting.
In the last week, he has drawn widespread attention in his community after reporting that he suffered an intolerant school environment for years. Again, letting this fester. The 16-year-old wrote a now viral post stating, I love Chesterton High School. I really do, but I've been called the N-word multiple times since coming here in 7th grade. It's 2026, the 21st century. This shouldn't still be happening. No shit. No fucking shit. He's reported multiple racist bullying instances to the school administration that were never followed up on. Yeah, they're literally allowing this to happen. Just before winter break, he received a racially offensive letter. He told the Chicago Tribune that he wrote a letter to Santa as an idea for a TikTok video he wanted to create. He put the letter in his backpack, but while he was making a presentation in English class, one of his classmates swiped the note. Later that day, a male student came up to him and handed him back the letter with a reply from Santa that was full of racial slurs and insults. Here's what it stated. I see that you would like some shoes, but I unfortunately don't give black people presents because they are always stealing or destroying shoes. You might want to ask your mommy for gas money because I know you broke your broke ass don't got no money. You're a broke ass chicken eating Kool-Aid drinking boy. How about you make me some cookies and sit on my lap and I'll give you some coal. I mean,
What the fuck?
you can literally hear oh God. Wow. Brain cells literally dying just reading this troglodyte. The writer caps off the letter by writing out Julian's home address with a note that reads, and never forget, I know where you live.
And I bet
Julian
your
told-
Uncle Daddy knows where you live too, you fuck. Jesus fucking Christ, that poor kid. He doesn't deserve...
Get this, Julian told his criminal justice teacher, then reported the letter to the assistant principal, who vowed to look into this matter. The day after he made the report, he started discussing the letter during his English class, and the teacher overheard his conversation. She sent Julian to the assistant principal's office even after the teen told her the assistant principal was investigating the incident. So I don't know what that's about. Despite that, Julian was suspended for a few days for reportedly being disrespectful.
How the fuck is he being disrespectful? He's the one that got the disrespectful letter disrespecting him. How the fuck is he being disrespectful, speaking about what he is going through? These teachers have lost their goddamn minds.
In his suspension letter, the teacher claimed that Julian blamed her for allowing actions of another student to take place during her class when she knew nothing about it. All I did was speak about what happened. Speaking up got me punished, not protected. Yeah.
This teacher needs to lose her job. The headmaster needs to lose the job. Everyone that has allowed this to go on, everyone that has allowed, is his name Julius or Julian?
Julian.
So everyone that has allowed Julian to suffer, they need to be fired immediately. The bullies who are responsible for bullying, they need to be permanently suspended.
No, expel them. Yeah, expel them permanently.
Yeah.
No, we're done. We're not having this.
Yeah.
You are causing a disruption in our, and we're going to start expelling kids right down the line. It's like, nope, you can't be here. Still.
Just a quick question.
Go ahead.
So is permanently suspending the same as expelling?
Well, permanently suspended. Yes, suspending is only, it's temporary. So it's like saying permanently.
No, temporary. It's permanently expelled.
Yeah, yes.
Permanently
just say
expelled. Yeah. Yeah.
Expelled is definite. But as soon as he came back from winter break, the racism starts right back up. Another student called Julian the N-word right after he returned to school from winter break. Julian's mother said that she had met with school leadership multiple times. This should not take multiple visits. This should have been handed expeditiously. Immediately. After receiving no clear answers about how the school would handle the issues, she escalated her complaint to the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Education, telling officials she first contacted the school district in October 2024. As of 2026, my son continues to experience a school environment where hate speech and racial hostility persists. These incidences are not isolated, but represent a pattern of racial harassment that has gone unremedied despite repeated notice to the district. She says, if my son is expected to be accountable for what he says, then everyone should be accountable.
I hope she sues the school. I hope she fucking sues the living life out of them.
I mean, this is just going to continue.
It is going to continue, and I know she shouldn't have to, but the safety of her son, I implore her to please move her son to a different school. Obviously, this school is too incompetent to protect her child, and I know she shouldn't have to. The child deserves to be protected.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that because no matter what school he goes to, it's going to be the same exact thing. What's next? Move out of state? I mean, this is Indiana.
Shouldn't have to.
Yeah, this is racist. This is racist capital, right? I mean, it's racism capital right there. Tennessee ain't too far away.
No. Shouldn't have to. At the end of the day, you send your kids to school so they are safe. Not to be bullied, not to be shot, not to suffer any kind of trauma while they're at school. They are supposed to be safe. I think every single teacher needs to be held accountable and fired, and
it starts at the top.
Need to be expelled. Yeah. only to be
It's like,
expelled.
oh, you said the N-word? Come here. You're gone. Anyone else?
No, exactly. Exactly.
We're not going to have it. Start getting
And
tough.
I'm gonna go one
Start
further.
getting tough
I'm
on these
gonna go
kids, and
one
I guarantee
further.
you the rest of the
Yeah.
kids will get the message.
And I'm going to go one further. Not only should the bullies who actually done it, but the ones who sat back, knew what was going on, and
You
did
know
nothing.
something? It just
They
dawned
should
on
go
me.
as well.
We need to be investigating the parents,
Yes.
because I have to believe that they picked up on this racism at home.
Oh yeah, definitely. Kids learn from their parents.
I mean, it's not 100%, but it's a very good chance. I would say upwards as to a 90% chance of that being the case.
Kids are like sponges.
Yeah.
Kids absorb and they learn things from the environment they are around. And if they see certain behaviours from their parents, they're going to pick those behaviours up because they think it is socially acceptable to act on those behaviours out in public. So it is somewhat the parents' responsibility to make sure that their child is not picking up vile, disgusting behaviours, you know? So the parents are somewhat responsible for what their child is behaving, you know?
Yeah.
Guarantee, parents haven't got eyes in the back of their head. They can't be keeping an eye on their children 24/7. I understand that. But behavioural issues and certain things that they've heard in the home, their parents can help that.
Yeah, buddy. Well, if there's nothing else, I wish everyone a good night. Thank you so much for sticking it out with us. And if you liked what you heard, please consider being a supporter. Support independent media. We'd love to be part of your independent media family, shall we say. You can support us via Venmo, Cash App, or become a patron subscriber. Links are down in the description.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We love reading your comments. We thank you for your support. And we hope you have a lovely Thursday.
And with that, I bid you good day, sir.
Good night, sir.
Wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup. Hide the scars to fade away. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? Here you go, create another fable. You wanted to grab a brush and put a little makeup. You wanted to hide the scars to fade away the shake-up. You wanted to. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? You wanted to. I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide, I cry when angels deserve to die. I commend my spirit, Father, into your hands. Why have you forsaken me? In your eyes forsaken me. In your thoughts forsaken me. In your heart forsaken me. Oh, trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide, I cry when angels deserve to die. Wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup. Hide the scars to fade away. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? Here you go, create another fable. You wanted to grab a brush and put a little makeup. You wanted to act disgusting when the shake up. You wanted to. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? You wanted to. I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide, I cry when angels deserve to die. I commend my spirit, Father, into your hands. Why have you forsaken me?